Now I'm going to go over a brief summary of the prophet Jeremiah. They say the good fig seen by Jeremiah represented the Jews who were captive in Babylon, while the bad figs symbolized those who had stayed in Judah and had neglected to worship God. When these scriptures were given, Jeremiah had been prophesying to a largely non-responsive audience for more than 20 years. I mean, you talking to people that just don't get it for 20 years? I mean, that got to be some dedication behind it. And then it also says the first 45 chapters focus primarily on the judgment coming to Judah because of its disbelief and disobedience. So basically, Jeremiah was trying to put people on like, yo, y'all not believing, y'all being disobedient, y'all gonna have, a belt. It's gonna be belt season. Number 3 is significant with the prophet of Jeremiah. The tribe of Judah was one of the 12 tribes of Israel. It settled in the region south of Jerusalem and became the most powerful tribe. The tribe produced the kings David and Solomon. So the bloodline was already potent. He had a powerful bloodline that was tied in with David. We already went over David, and Solomon was tapped in with that same bloodline. It said the tribe produced the kings David and Solomon, and was prophesied that the Messiah would come from among its members. So Jesus was tapped in with the same bloodline, most powerful bloodline, is what we're talking about, the 12 tribes of Israel. And 12 reduces to 3. That's why the 3 is significant as well. It said the West Bank is significant. It said, what is Jeremiah's main message? Jeremiah's message was turn away from their wicked ways and dependence upon idols and false gods and return to their early covenantal loyalty to Yahweh. God's determination to restore his people to himself. God's final answer. This restoration includes a promise of causing a righteous branch to spring up for David, who shall execute justice and righteousness in the land. Jeremiah was called to prophecy in c. 626 BC by God to proclaim Jerusalem's coming destruction by invaders from the north. This was because Israel had forsaken God by worshiping the idols of Baal and burning their children as offerings to Baal. So yeah, they had some karma coming, and Jeremiah was the one to, try to spread the message before it came. Basically, he was warning the people to get ready. Either y'all gonna have to get up out of here, or y'all better repent, because it's about to get real. But they wasn't hearing him. He was telling these people for 20 years what was coming. They wasn't hearing him. It said God commanded Jeremiah to warn people of Jerusalem that if they did not repent, the city would be destroyed and they would be carried away captive. Like, these people about to come lock y'all up. They like, man, you capping, you just talking, you talking. He like, no matter how many people didn't believe him, he stood his ground. He stood on business in his word and his mission, because that's what he was guided to do. No matter how many people was not really taking heed or listening to him, he knew what he had to do, and God kept it in his heart. God kept him going. Despite all the disappointment, he kept going. God warned Jeremiah that his own people would fight him, but God assured the prophet he would not be overcome. No matter how many people turned against him, how many people counted him out, God was telling him like, yo, stay the course. Stay the course, because you doing what you need to do. Even if they don't hear you, long as you do your part, and that's all that needs to be done. It said, why should a person read Jeremiah? Jeremiah shows us the fullness of God's character. Jeremiah prophesies that the Jews would flee to Egypt, would again face death at the hands of a Babylonian invasion. If they remained in Judah, they would be spared, nothing less. The Jews spitefully rejected God's instruction again and forcibly took Jeremiah with them to Egypt. So basically, Jeremiah got caught in the wrath trying to help them people, sacrificed himself. It says Jeremiah had a tough assignment. The people had rejected his message and treated him badly. As a result, Jeremiah became so discouraged that he was ready to resign. He was not going to preach anymore. Jeremiah 44:1. It say this word came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews living in Lower Egypt, in Migdol, Tahpanhes, in Memphis. The state Memphis is connected with Egypt as well. The prophet Jeremiah told us in today's first reading that God came to him 3 times with specific instructions on what to do. Jeremiah listed and did exactly what he said. Jeremiah was taken against his will to Egypt by some of the Jews who feared reprisal from the Babylonians. Even in Egypt, he continued to rebuke his fellow exiles. So even though he was captured, he was in a bad position, Jeremiah still did what God commanded him to do. He was still obedient, even in the most tough, corrupted, harsh environment or situation. He stood his course and he stood on business. Do as y'all please with this little bit of information, but y'all stay blessed.